Hi, everyone, and welcome to TWF Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross and with Paulie Dangerously here. And today on Collision or Hit, we are going to see, we're going to see the TWF women's heavyweight winnings on stake. Women's heavyweight winning stake when we have Roxanne Perez has an open deal against someone, for the TWF woman heavyweight winnings. Tony Schiavone says. You got that right, Jim Ross says. And Roxanne Perez is hoping that she will have open deal for anyone, who wants to go for the TWF, woman heavyweight winnings, and whoever that would need be, Jim Ross says, and who's going to take her up on the open dare. Well, I could tell you one thing. Paulie Dangerously says who it's going to be, who it's not going to be. I don't know. And if we can seek her, that's great. If we cannot seek her, then she's going to have to yield up the TWF, women's heavyweight winnings, because that's just the oversight. And they have so many women, Paulie Dangerously says. But then again, I don't know who's going to take her up on the open dare. It would have to be a woman who is woman enough to do it. And here she is. But I think whoever it is, I think that Roxanne Perez is going to beat them. Hi everyone, it's me, Roxanne Perez, TWF woman heavyweight fighter, 2 with time, putting my strap on stake, I guess the first time since I won it for the 2 with time. And I want to know who's going to be, and I want to know who the woman's going to be, who thinks that they're woman enough to take my TWF, woman, heavyweight winnings off of me. Stand up! But at the end of the day, I don't think anyone's gonna be woman enough to take my TWF women's heavyweight winnings off of me. Well, you should always be careful what you wish for, Tony Schiavone says, because now you have to deal with that. Is that right, Roxanne Perez? Well, I should let you know that I myself was a former TWF women's heavyweight fighter. And I think that I can take, off. I know I can win the TWF women's heavyweight winnings off of you. Oh, so you think you can do that, Alexa Bliss? I mean, good luck if you think you can. But at the end of the day, I don't think you can do, any of that. Well, we'll have that match, and then we'll see if you eat those words or not. Well, I could tell you one thing right now, Tony Schiavone says. We got the fight woman in the ring now, the fight keeper in the ring now. So that match is going to happen. Yeah, Jim Ross says, if she doesn't fall down before the match happens. This match is for the TWF woman heavyweight winnings. First, she is Alexa Bliss. And she is the TWF women's heavyweight fighter, Roxanne Perez. And keep in mind how Roxanne Perez won it the first time, 2 with time. Tony Schiavone said she had to put her feet on the rope to beat, to beat Rhea Ripley. I think that happened last month or a month before, Jim Ross says, in a body slam. And Roxanne Perez slapped Alexa Bliss. And that might be her mistake. Well, I think the mistake, Paulie dangerously says, I think the mistake is that Alexa Bliss thinks that she could smoothly beat, that she believes she can smoothly beat, Roxanne Perez and win the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings. Well, that's her mistake. And the body slam and Roxanne Perez is now done and down now. Well, Tony Schiavone, so it looks like she's going to do Twisted Bliss. And if that's how Twisted Bliss is done, I don't know, Tony Schiavone says. Well, Jim Ross said Alexa Bliss is hopefully going to become, the TWF Woman Heavyweight Fighter. 1, 2, and a kick out. Well, only a 2, Tony Schiavone says. Only a 2. Well, I can tell you one thing, Paulie dangerously says. Twisted Bliss isn't going to work. She could do Sister Abigail, but I hardly doubt that's going to work. She's going to try to do Sister Abigail, but Roxanne Perez just got her, and the Pop Rocks, or Pop Stones, since the word rock is a French borrowed word, the English word would be stone. And it looks like this match is over, Tony Schiavone says. Yes, it is, Jim Ross said. It looks like this match is over. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, and still the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, Roxanne Perez. Well, Roxanne Perez is still the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter by beating Alexa Bliss here today on Collision or Hit. Tony Schiavone says. Tony Schiavone said, well, Jim Ross says, I could tell you one thing right now. Jim Ross says, Alexa Bliss has nothing to feel guilty of or nothing to be ashamed of, because she did everything she could do to beat Roxanne Perez, in this match. Well, that's the same thing here, Tony Schiavone says. I believe that Alexa Bliss has nothing to be ashamed of or guilty of, because she did put in the work here, but she did not beat Roxanne Perez. I think she has something to feel guilty or ashamed over, Tony and Jim, because she didn't beat Alexa Bliss. She didn't beat Roxanne Perez. And she's not the TWF Woman Heavyweight Fighter. So I think at the end of the day, I think that is something to be guilty or ashamed of. Well, speaking of that, we're going to have Renee Young now, who's going to be talking with Roxanne Perez. Thank you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking with Roxanne Perez here today on Collision or Hit. Alright, Roxanne Perez, we saw you out here. We saw you beat Alexa Bliss, and you were still the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. Oh, yeah, I'm still the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. Did we think that was going to shift? No, I didn't think that was going to shift at all. And at the end of the day, Roxanne Perez is on top, and Alexa Bliss, well, she's at the bottom, one of the losers. She didn't stand a luck against me. Well, there were some times in the match, Roxanne Perez, where we did think Alexa Bliss would have won when she did the Twisted Bliss, I guess. Twisted is the English word, but Bliss is a Latinist borrowed word, so the English word would be what? Happiness. And when the time when she was going to do the Sister Abigail, I don't know who this Sister Abigail is, but whatever the hold, I don't think that hold would have helped me, because once I hit her with pop rocks or pop stones, it was all over. And I'm still the TWF woman heavyweight fighter, and I'm the one that everyone should give on look to. Well, that's my talk with Roxanne Perez. That's my talk with Roxanne Perez. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Renee Young, for talking with Roxanne Perez here today on Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we got here for Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross and Paulie Dangerously. I hope you like Collision or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Power or Might.